All right, let's talk about a man whose name is basically a synonym for invention, a mind that completely reshapes the world we live in. We're diving into the brilliant and honestly pretty surprising story of Thomas Edison.
So let's just start with a number, because it's just staggering. 1,093. That's how many US patents Thomas Edison held. That number alone tells you we're dealing with a totally different scale of inventive genius here.
So you have to ask, where does a drive like that even come from? You'd probably guess he was, top of his class, a star pupil from the best schools, but actually, his journey started somewhere completely unexpected.
Okay, get this. The guy with over 1,000 patents, a true titan of industry, was actually expelled from school when he was just 12 years old. Yeah. His teachers just couldn't handle him. They said his mind wandered too much, he asked too many questions. He was just too difficult. But here's the thing. While the door to formal school closed, his real education was just getting started. His mom, Nancy, who was a teacher herself, saw that curiosity not as a problem, but as his greatest gift. So she homeschooled him, and she encouraged him to read everything, to learn, and most importantly, to just experiment. And that foundation, that self-driven curiosity, is what launched him into his adult life and into his famous laboratory. The mind that was once seen as a problem in a classroom went on to create a whole new way of innovating, what he called an invention factory. It was a place built not just to make one thing, but to invent itself. You know, we always connect Edison to the light bulb, right? But the sheer range of his thinking was incredible. He gave us the phonograph. A machine that could capture sound right out of thin air. The motion picture camera, which literally gave birth to a whole new art form. And things like the long-lasting alkaline battery. We're talking about revolutionary ideas in completely different fields.
So he was achieving success after success. But there was this one challenge, this one problem that absolutely obsessed him, and really tons of other inventors at the time. A problem that would demand every ounce of his famous persistence and, in the end, define his entire legacy. And that challenge, of course, was the quest to create a safe, reliable, and affordable electric light. The goal wasn't just to make a bulb that glowed. It was to figure out a way to bring that light into every single home in the world. Now, let's be super clear about this. This was not some single eureka moment. It was a grind. A relentless process of trial and error. He and his team ran literally thousands of experiments, testing every material they could think of for that little glowing wire, the filament. And then, finally, they found it. The answer was a carbon filament. That was the breakthrough, a material that could glow for hundreds of hours without just burning out. This was the key that unlocked our modern illuminated world. It's hard for us to even imagine, right? Before this invention, life was dictated by the sun. When it got dark, things just stopped. Edison's light bulb didn't just light up a room, it literally extended the day. It revolutionized industry, our social lives, everything. It completely changed the way humans live. So, what's the real lesson from this incredible life? When you look at his enduring legacy, it's about so much more than just some wires and filaments. And this really gets to the heart of it. His legacy isn't just about the cool stuff he invented. It's about the principles behind them. It is absolute proof of what can happen when you combine a creative spark with just relentless hard work and a refusal to give up, even after failing thousands of times. In the end, his work was so fundamental that it became a metaphor for progress. You know, the light bulb over your head when you have a good idea? That's him. He didn't just invent a bunch of useful objects, he literally and figuratively pushed back the darkness. Edison's story just goes to show the massive impact one person's focused determination can have. He lit up the entire world. And that leaves us with a question to think about. What will you illuminate?